Good day, good afternoon, good morning, bonjour, Caro. How are you guys doing? Welcome to another edition of Health Talk with Mutiat. Hello, my name is Mutiat. So today we're going to be talking about HIV and AIDS. Before I get started, again, I just put a disclaimer forward that this is not. Good afternoon, Ms. Olamide. Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. This is not an end-all be-all. You do still have to follow up with your doctor if you have any questions. And also, if you have any questions, you may follow up with me. I can point you in the right direction. Today, we're going to be talking about HIV. We're going to be talking about AIDS also. The reason why this topic was chosen today was yesterday, December 1st, is World AIDS Awareness Day. So I figured when I was in Lagos, I heard a lot of misconceptions. I heard a lot of things about AIDS and HIV that I'm like, this doesn't work that way. But I decided to bring you a topic and we can talk about it and we can all explain and understand better. All right. So today, HIV. All right. Do we all know what HIV stands for? I don't think so. Everybody just says HIV. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. And AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. So see, there are two different diseases. All right. Two different diseases. HIV is a virus. It is a virus that progresses to AIDS. You don't have AIDS at the first instance. You have HIV infection. All right. AIDS is more advanced. Is a more advanced stage of HIV. You progress from HIV to AIDS. All right. If you're not properly caring for your HIV, you then have AIDS. You just don't have AIDS directly as an infection. All right. So you're infected with the HIV. HIV is a virus. All right. So what this virus does? HIV is a virus. All right. What it does is it attacks your immune system. That's what it does, simply. HIV, it targets the part of your body that targets the part of your immune system that fights bacteria, that fights for you. Like, let's say you commonly someone sneezes beside you, you're going to catch a cold. You're going to probably catch, your body will fight for you not to catch a full-blown cold. But when you have HIV, when someone sneezes beside you, the part of your body, good morning, Ms. Oladuni, the part of your body that fights against you having a cold is what HIV targets. So when you have HIV, it targets the part of your body, the part of your immune system that protects you from catching common colds, common diseases, diarrhea, all these things. That's what HIV does. All right. So definition is HIV fights and destroys the infection fighting part of your body. The CD4 cells, it's what it actually targets and fights. And those are what helps you fight against common cold, fights against things that can make you sick. All right. So basically, HIV hurts your immune system. That's it. That's simply what the disease does. All right. So I've always said that when a person has HIV, the person is more worried. I feel the person is more worried about you, about me, around them, that I should be worried about them. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. Right? Let's say I have HIV. I'm worried about you guys that are out there, because if you guys sneeze beside me, I will catch what you have, because I don't have the ability to fight against what you have. If let's say a friend of mine, I have HIV, and a friend of mine standing beside me and doesn't have HIV, and you come in and you sneeze in front of us, my friend will probably not catch anything, but I will, because I don't have the immune system to fight against what you just sneezed around me. That's what HIV does to you. Am I making sense? Do you understand? Did I make it simple enough that you can understand? If you're not, please let me know and I'll explain it further. Now, how do we spread HIV? How is HIV spread? Blood and bodily fluids. That's it. Blood and bodily fluids. You have blood. You have semen. You have vaginal fluids. Seminal fluid, what we call pre-cum. Those have HIV in them. Now, the way HIV is transmitted, let me be clear, is if a person has HIV, right, and I'm standing beside you that you have HIV, I'm not going to catch any type of HIV. You shake me, I'm not going to catch HIV. However, if I have a broken skin, Let's say my arm or my hand over here is split and I know it's open and there's blood. I just up my hand. And the person that has HIV also has an open skin in the same spot. And then we shake each other. Blood, when the blood touches each other, HIV is transmitted. You hear me? Am I understand? Am I making myself clear? So HIV is only transmitted when there is a source and there's an entryway. If there's no entryway, I can stand there with my open skin, and if this person doesn't have an open skin, it was not going to get transmitted. All right? There has to be a way that the blood and bodily fluid of two people come together. If it comes together and you link each other, that's how HIV is transmitted. Am I making sense? So if someone uses a spoon, HIV person uses a spoon, and I pick up the spoon and use it after. And it's washed and I use it after. I won't catch it. If HIV person uses the bathroom, you clean the bathroom, you flush it. I go and I sit on it. I'm not catching HIV. So if there is no source, if there's no, oh crap. Sorry about this. If there's no way of transmission, like blood is contacting each other, there is no way of HIV transmission. All right. So how we transmit blood, seminal fluid, like I said, rectal fluid, and for women that have HIV, that have babies, breast milk. We do not breastfeed the babies. There's a good chance a pregnant woman with HIV will give birth and the baby will not have HIV if you follow proper treatment. The baby will not have HIV as long as you do not breastfeed the child. Now, most people will say, okay, a person just had a baby and we do a blood test and a baby has HIV. Yes. In the first 18 months, the baby is going to have HIV. The baby doesn't actually have HIV, but the fact that the immune system of the mother and the bloodstream of the mother is still in the body, after 18 months is when we truly know whether this child has HIV or not. Because at that point, the kid has formed his own immune system, has his own bloodstream, has their own everything. So after 18 months is when we definitely know whether the child or not has had HIV. But at this point, where we are with HIV, if you follow your prescriber's if you follow your medications, you can be pregnant with HIV and you have a nice healthy baby, no issues. Okay. Another way that most people contract HIV is by sex. That's given. That's number one way. Another way is by sharing needles. If you use drugs, IV drugs, and you share needles with HIV, remember, source, it will go through. You'll have HIV. All right. If you kiss. Right? Let me clarify this. If you kiss a person with HIV, remember what I said about there has to be an open sore. There has to be an open contact. Let's say the person has a cold sore in their mouth and you two also have a cold sore in your mouth. If you kiss each other, you will have HIV. Now, if there's no cold sore, there's no opening in the mouth at all for either one of you, no. HIV at this point the chances of getting HIV through saliva is very, very low. There's still chances, but it's not like a great chance of when you do it through blood or IV or sex. Back in the days, people used to be worried that when you transfuse blood, if through transfusion, you might. It's not definitely that you will. It's you might. Now, back in the days, people used to be worried about if they give me blood, I might get blood. If I get blood transfusion, you might get HIV. That's back in the days. Nowadays, in this world that we're in, before blood is given in the United States, let me clarify that when you donate blood, we run several tests before we give it. But in Nigeria, be very careful. I'm not sure what the blood screening part is. So be careful. If you have to get blood from anybody, please have them run the test on the blood. It doesn't cost anything. If you need the blood for your family member, I know some people do direct donations. Just make sure the person you're getting blood from does not have HIV. Okay? Risk factors of contracting HIV. There are risk factors, yes. If you are a sex worker, your chances are high because you don't know who your John is going to be. Yeah. If you're going to be a sex worker, be a safe sex worker. Use condoms. Condoms at all point in times. At no point should you do skin to skin, or if your customer requires skin to skin, my advice to you is let that customer go. Another one will come that will refuse not to use. Thank you, Miss Monica. That will want to use condoms. If you use drugs, IV drugs, have your own kit. Do not share a kit with somebody. My job right now is not to crucify you for being a sex worker, for being an IV drug abuser. This is not my job. My job is for you to make it clean. All right? Nobody can force you to change your ways unless you're ready to change your ways. Let me get it out there. If you're ready to change, there are several options for you to come out and we will help you. But if you're not ready to change, now let's make it neat. Let's make it clean. Make sure you don't contract diseases. Along with IV drug abusers, if you're an IV drug abuser along with HIV, you have a chance of getting hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and those are very, very bad for your liver. So if you're an IV drug abuser, I don't know where this video is going to end up. Please do not share needles with anybody. All right. So, signs and symptoms of HIV. All right. Signs and symptoms of HIV. When you get infected, first 2 weeks, they call it a flu-like symptoms. Nigeria is cold. It's a cold-like symptom. Like, let's say you have headaches, you have a fever, you have body aches, your body hurts, and all that good stuff. You have fatigue, you have sore throat. It comes for a week or two, and then it goes, and it comes back again, and then it goes. It's like off and on like that. You're sick. We've had patients come to the hospital for continuous cold, and we're like, something is wrong. We just throw in a rapid HIV, and some of them to come back positive for HIV. All right. So if you have a cold, if you know you're high risk, you're a sex worker, you're IV abuser, or you slept with somebody without protection, and you notice all the signs and symptoms, please do follow up with your doctor. Let them run a rapid HIV test for you, and we know whether or not. It doesn't hurt anything. All right? We cannot be ashamed of ourselves. If you know you've done something wrong, try and fix it. HIV is not a death sentence at all. It is not a death sentence. I'm sure you guys have heard of magic. Oh my Lord. I'm sure you guys have heard of Magic, what's his name? This dude, the Magic Johnson, thank you. The basketball player. He's lived years with HIV. If you take care of yourself, if you take care of your body, it's like any other disease. Take care of your body, take care of your surroundings, take care of your medications. Make sure you use your medications on time. HIV is not a death sentence. At no point is it a death sentence. Right? Like, I remember what I told you, that HIV is it's a deficiency. It's like when your immune system, thank you Magic Johnson, is when your immune system is not protecting you is not helping fight diseases. So when you have HIV, you do have what we call opportunistic diseases. Opportunistic diseases is what I explained earlier, like someone comes beside me and they sneeze. A person with HIV might catch it because they don't have a way of fighting the body. They don't have a way of fighting the disease. They don't have a way of fighting the common cold. That's what it is. Simply put, HIV knocks your immune system down, that you don't have a way of fighting common cold, fighting common diseases that everybody else can fight. All right? So those are the signs and symptoms. Let me run through it again. Signs and symptoms, early signs and symptoms of HIV: cold-like disease, flu-like symptoms, headaches, body aches, fatigue, sore throat, fever. Some people have rashes. So if you have any of those, you want to contact your doctor, and you know you've done something that you shouldn't have done, contact your doctor. All right? All right. So how do we treat HIV? Retrovirals, antiretrovirals. Just take your antivirals. Each person with HIV, they're different kind of HIV. Let me explain to you very well. Like, let's say if you have a partner that has HIV and another person that has HIV, they can have two different kind of HIVs. You want to make sure that you are still protected. The fact that you have HIV-A, you can still have HIV-B. There's several types of HIV out there. There are several types of HIV. So you want to be careful. Even though you have HIV, it's not like, oh, that's it, I'm done. No. You can still get worse if you don't protect yourself. It can still get worse if you don't treat yourself properly. All right? So I want you to, when you're diagnosed with HIV, it is not a death sentence. It is not the end of the world. Go to your doctor. They'll give you retrovirals and you take it. Take it as prescribed. What works for Mr. A does not work for Mr. B, because Mr. B might have a different HIV than Mr. A. So what your doctor says, if your doctor puts you on AZTs, put you on Truvada, put you on all these medications, take it as they want you to take it, because your own genotype of HIV might be different. All right? So that's how we treat HIV. And trust me, you can be in HIV for a long time. That HIV itself will not kill you. That something else might kill you if you take care of your body. Now, how do we diagnose HIV? Blood work is the most definitive way of diagnosing HIV. They're out there in pharmacies. They're rapid HIV swabs. Yes, just to give you a preliminary, you can do a quick swab, 20 minutes, you get a response. But to properly diagnose HIV, we use what we call an ELISA. It's an enzyme linking serum assay. I think that's what it is. That's what it's called. It's called an ELISA. It's a blood work and a Western blot test. Yes, those are the two definitive diagnoses of. That's how we diagnose HIV. All right. The rapid HIV may have a false positive or have a false negative, but the ELISA and the Western blot is definitive. So once you get that, if you're not sure and have your doctor do that, and it comes out positive, then you're positive HIV. Then your status is a positive. And again, I'll keep saying, not a death sentence. Again, not a death sentence. As long as you know your HIV status and you're treating yourself properly, you'll be fine. HIV is not going to kill you. Now, let's say you don't do any of those. You don't go see your doctor. You don't treat yourself. And you go into what we call AIDS. AIDS is the more advanced stage of HIV. When you reach an AIDS level, at that point in time, I would say that's probably a death sentence, because you had the opportunity to protect yourself and you chose not to. You had the opportunity to treat yourself and you chose not to. And now you're at the AIDS level. AIDS is different from HIV because at AIDS level, your CD4 count is the test we use. Your CD4 count is below 200. That is very, very low. Like if someone gets beside you with a sneeze, you're definitely catching a cold. There's nothing that's going to fight it. And there are other diseases that you can catch. We have pneumocystis canine pneumonia. That's a pneumonia that's known for HIV people. We have cancer, Kaposi sarcoma, skin cancer that's just pure for AIDS. We have what's this? Oh, it's a fungus, toxoplasmosis, all these diseases. At this point, that's it. You have wasting syndrome. So at that point, when you're in AIDS level, we're at a death sentence. You're almost at the death's door. Now, it's been miraculous that some people will return back and heal better and heal after AIDS, miracles. But then when you're in AIDS, at this point, we're just helping you get comfortable. So now we know the difference between HIV and we know the difference between AIDS. Two different diseases, two different diagnoses. HIV is an infection that if you take care of your body properly, you will not progress to AIDS. AIDS is when you have HIV and you don't treat your body well and you don't take your medications and you don't make sure your surrounding is fine and all that good stuff. If you don't do all that, you will progress to AIDS and then, God forbid. So, I think I've covered HIV. I've covered AIDS. If you have any questions, please let me know. I try to simplify things for you and I try to keep it so anybody can watch it because I know data is expensive. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm always available to teach. I'm always available to learn also. And I can explain to you if you just don't understand the way I explain it, I can explain to you better. All right. Feel free to share this video. Please take care of your body, take care of your health. And thank you again for watching our health talk. It's been great. Thank you. Have a good day and stay healthy. Bye-bye.